as always, another night. It's another Wizards. Oh, look, I can't do my best to get through this. Cardell is found at 1 a.m. The man got way too much energy. But the Washington Wizards, if you guys weren't aware, just beat the Los Angeles Lakers 127-124 on, the second leg of their, I think it's a 4-game West Coast trip. So, they're 2-0 on this trip. They're 5-0 since the change in the starting lineup. This one went to OT. They could have won it in regulation, but, it's the Wizards, man. Little things like free throws, missing a rack of them kind of mattered. But that said, they went into the extra period, came out with the win. The win streak is extended to 5. Last time they won 5 games was literally 3 years ago. But, as always, we got Cardell Dudley Jr., Raymond Lyons, Wilson Tarpe Jr., whichever one of you guys want to go, man. I'm just here trying to get through this.
Raymond. I can't stop laughing enough. Go ahead, man.
This is a big win, man. They they beat the defending champs. Subtractions notwithstanding, it's still a good basketball team. They won this game the same way they won the previous 4. With stretches of solid defense. They did fall behind by 17, but they clawed their way back like they normally do. Something that stood out to me, typically it's their second unit that comes and gives them that punch. It's kind of flip-flop tonight. The first unit started off pretty well. Then the second unit came in and the defense kind of fell off. So a little bit of role reversal, but it's all good. That's why you have a team. Pick up each other's slack. Their transition defense wasn't good to start the game. Lakers was able to get out and run a little bit. That's how they built up their lead. But they reined it in. Bill and Westbrook were great. Denny had a huge fourth quarter. Then Bill got going late as well. But yeah, man, it's a good win. It's a good confidence builder. And I'm anxious to see how it's going to spill over to tomorrow. But they're starting to build some consistency, and of course, as the wins pile up, then their mental state is got to be improving. There were dark days early in the season, but now they're looking like a basketball team, and it's kind of showing. Usually they fall into these deep holes and they battle back only to lose, but now they're finishing these games, and that's big, man. And you can kind of see it in everybody's body language and their effort, like especially on the defense. We have been saying that all season. If they could just kind of pick it up on that end, and they really haven't even played a full 48 minutes of solid defense yet, but they're playing enough, obviously, to get some wins. So it's good to see, man. I'm pretty sure those film sessions or what have you are much more jovial these days. But yeah, man, kudos to all those guys, players, Scott Brooks, coaching staff, all that. It just looks like they're kind of hitting their stride and they've found some things that work. I don't think they've had the same starting lineup for 5 straight games before any point this year. But they found a unit that comes out and plays hard and gets things going. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it, man. But yeah, big win for them.
Cardell?
Yeah, the Lakers didn't have AD and Schroeder, but the Wizards didn't have Thomas Bryant and Ish Smith. So it's even. Take that L. It is what it is. No excuses. The Wiz played better down the stretch. It's as simple as that. Their stars dominated the game, especially down the stretch. I was waiting for Bill to wake up. He was kind of cold in the third and I say 3/4 of the fourth. But the others stepped up. And where in the first half, the Lakers bench dominated the Wizards bench. I think they was up like 27-4 at halftime. I'm like, where y'all at? I know Bertans picked up 2 quick fouls and he was on the bench, but where were the rest of y'all? And obviously you could kind of tell at halftime. Then the starters or Brooks or the staff kind of let that be known, like y'all got to wake up. And wake up that they did. you know, I'm gonna give credit. I'm gonna give some love to Rui, man. He was on the island with LeBron all game and was still running all the way around, contesting everybody else 3-pointers that got open. His defensive effort is just it's unsung. It's not gonna show up in the box score, but it was key. Because without him contesting a lot of those threes, the Lakers would have got hot and this game would have been over. You know what I'm saying? Raul Neto, some timely steals, digging down. I mean, that's defense. And this is what we talked about early in the season where it's like they didn't trust one another yet. You know what I'm saying? Because guys weren't doing their particular job, so the other guy can do their particular job. It was like guys wasn't doing their job at all, so they didn't know if they had to overcompensate or do their job. And that was the mix-up early in the season, and guys got hurt, COVID, and it just threw everything out of whack. You know what I'm saying? But now it's like they're starting to see what it is, and they starting to understand how they have to win, not necessarily how they anticipated to win coming in the season. How they have to win, they have to lead with energy and effort and get stops and give themselves a chance. They hold teams down. They got a couple dudes that can close the game, and that's just how they got to win. They can't go out here and try to score 150 points or something like the Warriors with KD and think that's going to happen and not really pay attention to defense. Oh, the Nets now. You know what I'm saying? With KD's healthy, it's just not going to work like that. They don't have the firepower. Montrezl Harrell, he killed him. I'm not even there's no other way to put it. He killed the front line. I don't know why he didn't get back in the game. He had 5 fouls. I don't know what that was all about. We'll hear about it soon in the post game. But they missed him down the stretch because he was the one that was kind of eating up Washington bigs because they couldn't keep him off the glass. He was getting second chance points, all that good stuff. Wizards made it tough, like Wilson said, with the free throws and layups, missing all those in the first half. But they woke up in the second half and overtime got it going. The 23-9 run in the third by the Wizards, I felt, is what won the game because they was on the verge of the Lakers just taking them out because the Lakers came out strong early in the third and the Wizards just took over. And then it was a back-and-forth battle until they closed them out. Bertans, he was 0 for 4 from deep, through 3 quarters. Hate to say it as usual, but then he woke up, hit some big threes to give the Wizards some momentum. And that, along with Denny, who hit some big threes also in the fourth. And that's what you need for those guys, man. Hit the shots that, hit them, man. That's it. That's what y'all getting paid to do. Hit them. And even that double, where Bertans came over to double LeBron late in the game, man, he threw the pass to Caruso, was cut baseline and went off Caruso's hand. That was good defensive instinct. That's what y'all need. You know what I'm saying? Even in the preview, I'm like to beat a good passing team like the Lakers, especially with LeBron running things, y'all got to be on the string defensively. And I love how they kind of play the passing lanes like a lockdown defensive back. They weren't just looking at the guy, not paying attention. Like they were playing their guy and the lane. And LeBron, you could tell he saw that because he wasn't as confident with throwing, zipping those passes like he normally do throughout the season. And you saw the Wizards get some of those things. They was picking them. And, you know what I'm saying? It was a trickle-down effect. And then all of a sudden he started getting aggressive because he didn't trust that not only he could get those passes through, but if guys were going to be ready to try to catch the passes he needed to throw to get them through. You feel what I'm saying? So, and then last but not least, Russell Westbrook and Brad Beal, man. Man, they could keep playing like this. Yeah, they're gonna creep back into that playoff race real soon. This by far the best game they played together. Efficiency. Russ only had 2 turnovers. I mean, and that was key. You can't give the Lakers chances to beat you because, as you can see, they can hit shots, and they're proving their championship team, and they will hit those shots. And Bill waking up late. That's why he the league's top scorer, man. He was kind of cool. I was waiting for him, like, dog. Everybody else doing their job. Bill, where you at, dog? Like, close this out, man. And he got busy. You know what I'm saying? All in all, man, everybody contributed to this win, and that's the most beautiful thing about it, man. You know what I'm saying? So, hats off to the Wizards. Extend Scott Brooks. That's where we at. We went from him getting fired to, we might have to have some discussions though. But this shows you it wasn't his coaching; it was the players. Now that they're stepping up, you see what the results are. And we all felt they could be a playoff team at the beginning of the year. Let's see if they can keep it going and make a push for that.
Yeah, I had too much else to add other than what you guys already had, but Yeah, the last two first round picks Washington made, both of those kids made a big impact on tonight's game. Cardell, you mentioned Rui. I think you mentioned Denny earlier, Ray. Especially late in the game, just when they were both on the court. Thought they did a solid job defensively. Rui ended up getting in some of those passes. Not Rui, I'm sorry. Denny got in a couple of those passing lanes a couple times. He also did a good job from the position he was in, rebounding. We like Cardell, you always mentioned, we know what Russ is going to do on the glass. But in a game where, Wagner had 1 board, Lopez had 2 boards, Denny's 8 rebounds, kind of needed those things. Brad 7 boards, you needed every one of them. Rui still found a way to get 6 boards, while, as you guys mentioned, being on the island out on Bron for much of the game. Still found a way to get down there, hit the glass. I think one of the other things, feel like people kind of settling into the roles a little bit now too. Just one of the natural things, when you have all your bodies there, just a natural progression. If people understand who's going to be here to do what, especially, we talked like way back at the beginning of the year, once Rui came back, the team changed a little bit. Then, all the other things that happened took them away from getting a rhythm. But having that kid knowing where he's going to be, what you're getting from Russ and Brad, like you guys both mentioned, both had great games tonight. Garrison Matthews, there's a baseline of what you're going to get from him. You know what you're going to get on one end of the floor. On the other end, he'll take and hit open shots. If he hits them, great. If he doesn't, he's also not hurting you because he's playing because of what he's giving you on the other end. Neto, again, look at the box score, not the biggest thing. He got 5 boards today. They went in there and they scrapped. And the biggest thing during this win streak, they have not been shooting the ball well from 3 outside of like 1 game. They hit 9 tonight. So how do you beat it? How do you win in today's NBA hitting just 9 threes? You're probably playing a little bit of defense. You get into the line, doing most of the little things. They got to get better here and there. Some of the late game execution, some of those decisions still a little wild. Give them some time. End of the game, you need to get the ball in the hands of a free throw shooter. It needs to stay there. But, they're still learning how to win. It's a process again. None of us told you at the beginning of the year that this is a contending team, just that they can make the playoffs. They went through what they went through, still got a long ways to go, but they're trending in the right direction. So far, they're 2 for 2 on this road trip. They get a little bit of rest. They got the Clippers technically later tonight. And then, the Nuggets, you come back and, you right back at it with a back-to-back, with a home and away game with a back-to-back. So bottom line is one side of their, you look at the standings, one side of their record keeps growing. The other side is stayed in one place, which is what you want. Can't really ask for too much more. You guys had anything else you wanted to add?
Yeah, shout out Robin Lopez. He gave them some much needed paint production. It's kind of offset what Montrez was doing a little bit, man, with those hooks, and he kept Montrez honest, so Montrez can help and make things harder for Bill and stuff like that. It's just that Bill was cold at the time, but he produced, and I think the Wizards won the points in the paint battle 66 to 50. You don't normally see that with the Lakers, so. As much as Montrez did a lot of damage, the Wizards took it to them boys, man.
Right.
And it's just good to see. They definitely had a rough go at it. With their like 2-week hiatus. I feel like they're just really starting to recover from that. To be honest, they've finally found a rotation that works. Guys are probably got their legs back up under them a little bit, and they're just gelling as a team. And another thing, Westbrook, he's starting to. I mean, he's not going to be who he was, but yeah, he's looking a little more explosive than he has been, and that's probably just only attribute that to them getting a little more healthy. So yeah, but that's good to see, and it's helping. So we're starting to see him string together, solid performances. The numbers were there, but it just looked forced in that, he's not getting them the way that he needed to for them to be productive. But yeah, it looks like he's turned that corner a little bit.
All right, want to thank you guys for hanging with us. We'll see you tomorrow night later tonight for the Focus TV is always at 8 p.m. followed by see you guys again after the Wizards Clippers for another edition of Wizards Outlook. We're gonna see you guys a lot this week, man. Go ahead, just pencil in. We're gonna see y'all a whole lot this week. So, y'all have a good night or morning, either or.